So 2 American aircraft carrier groups are now in the Middle East. The USS Carl Vinson joining the USS Harry Truman as President Trump warns of a possible military strike on the table to keep Iran from completing its work towards a nuclear weapon. He said he wants an agreement, but this is clearly the backup plan. His special envoy, Steve Witkoff, meeting with Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, in Amman over the weekend. The president says that more talks are set for this weekend, but he says you have to keep your options open.
If we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it. And I'm not doing it for us, I'm doing it for the world. And these are radicalized people, and they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Does that include a potential strike on Iranian nuclear facilities?
Of course it does.
Of course it does, says the president. With that, we bring in retired 4-star General Jack Keane, former Vice Chief of Staff of the Army and now chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and Fox News senior strategic analyst. General Keane, always good to have you with us. Tell us how you view where the U.S. and Iran are right now with all of this.
Yeah, certainly, Martha. Yeah, let's see if we can unpack this a little bit. Just a few weeks ago, the supreme leader of Iran was refusing to go to negotiations at all. His advisors, what we're told, convinced him that they should. And what's motivating them? Well, number one, their economy is in the tank. Their currency, the rial, is really spiraled out of control, and they got inflation somewhere in the neighborhood of 30%. The middle-class elites are now being affected by it, and even the aristocrats, if you want to call them that, the people who are really tied to the regime, have fancy cars, do designer shopping, etc., they're also having problems. So Iran feels more economic pressure than they have in some time, and now President Trump is slapping crippling sanctions back on them to increase that. So that's the motivation, number one. The second motivation is obviously the ultimatum that President Trump has issued to them, which is if you don't dismantle the program, then something bad is going to happen. You're likely going to be bombed. These are his words. And what that really means is an Israeli-led, U.S.-supported airstrike, most likely. So here comes Iran. And I am stunned by these guys, Martha, because they have a playbook that they opened up again, and it's to replay the negotiations they did with Obama in 2013 that led to the disastrous 2015 deal. What am I talking about? They're saying, look it, we'll reduce all the highly enriched uranium we have down to a very low percentage like we had back in the so-called nuclear deal, the JCPOA. In other words, we're not going to build a nuclear weapon. We're just going to use it for civilian commercial nuclear power. Of course, that's a bold-faced lie. And they're thinking the Trump administration is going to buy this. After all, in 2018, Trump pulled out of that very deal. And then in 2019, when the North Koreans did not dismantle their program after saying they fully intended to do at a meeting in Hanoi, Trump got up and terminated the meeting and walked away. Yep. So here they are trying to convince the same administration, obviously with some new players, but the president is the key here, that the fact that we're going to lower the enrichment and just use it for civilian power is a distinction that no longer has a difference. Because why? 10 years later, the Iranians can manufacture using advanced centrifuges, highly enriched uranium very rapidly. So they could go to a secret site if we agree to that deal, rapidly build the capability they have right now, where they're just weeks away from having 6 nuclear weapons is what analysts think they're on the path to. So here they are putting in front of the Trump administration something that they are replaying from the Obama administration. It's not going to work.
And they're in a very different position now than they were then as well, as you point out. Did you have a final thought there, General? Sorry.
What's on the table is dismantle your program, give up the materials, destroy the deep buried secret sites, no longer use ballistic missiles to be able to deliver these systems, stop your malign and aggressive behavior in the region. That's what's on the table from the United States' side. And If not done, then the obvious is going to take place, that there'll be some kind of a strike on their nuclear enterprise.
Well,
and certainly the administration doesn't want to do that. They would like to end this peacefully. But I don't believe the Iranians are going to go along with it.
Well, clearly
Hopefully
there's
they would,
support
but I doubt seriously.
for that in some places in Iran and certainly in Israel as well to take this threat out. And we will see how these talks go. General, thank you very much for getting us up to speed on the background here. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.